got some, of course, got something like 80,000 pounds of thrust. No, it wasn't the last plane, chronologically, certainly, like the Lancaster before it, the greatest of a trilogy of heavy bombers. The aircraft carried the British standoff weapon, the blue steel. One of the B bombers ever to drop bombs in anger. The Black Buck operation when Martin Withers dropped a full stick of 21,000-pound iron bombs across the Stanley. Carried out in the UK. I think with 13 flight refueling, several of them topping up tankers who were going out to meet the Vulcan. They did 5 refuelings on the actual Vulcan. They went out at high level, dropped down to a few hundred feet through the exclusion zone, shot up to 10,000 feet to bomb, and then came out. The last airworthy Vulcan, a Mark II, top of the fin, and the aerodynamically developed the last Vulcan to fly with the Royal Air Force. Squadron. One time, 101 still in existence was Eric Breisner flying the BC-10s, flight refueling role. In fact, this aircraft, when it was the 50th Squadron at the end of its career, was also involved in flight refueling for a brief period. She flew also at Waddington with 44th Squadron, one of the very famous, the first Lancaster Squadron. Got around this aircraft, the 558, started to the maritime road, one maritime squadron. Vulcan squadrons acquired the low-level NATO requirement after it was considered that guided missiles had got a bit too accurate and a bit too quick for high-level bombing and sedate just under Mach 1 bombers. The agility of this great aeroplane is tremendous. To carry 3 single-seat NAP fighters, one in the bomb bay and one under each wing, each armed with a small nuclear weapon. Luckily for the sake of the pilots who were to fly the NAP, nothing came of it. Look at that, everyone agrees. Undertake tanker trials, took up services to the B-2K, and a couple of years later was marked down for disposal for scrap at Marham, or Marham as the locals call it, and then she was reprieved and handed over to the Vulcan display team, who are still operating that. Great deal of help from them. weapons bay doors being opened, capable of carrying, say, up 21,000 pounds of bombs and many other things. According to Dave Thomas, flying her today. Mitchell, I think, I'm not quite sure who the rest of the crew are. You get a chance to check. Normally, Steel Mitchell's co-pilot, and according to Dave Morris, that low-level data camouflage is why you would want to camouflage the undersides. I didn't think there was ever any intention behind it. Aircraft displaying, I think it was last year up at Humberside, which is not very far away from here. And Paul Milligan, who was flying it, needing a little more power to get round a corner at the end of one run, produced such vibration, he set off the burglar alarms and the car Vulcan Association. I don't know if the team are here. Is the stand here? Yes, microphone for them to Captain Angelo of the Portuguese Air Force, who will be doing their commentating. Vulcan getting a very high angle of attack, dictated by that huge delta wing. It used to be a great point of honor of Vulcan display pilots never to get the nose wheel down, if possible, until you turned up on the taxiway, and I have seen that done. And there she goes. Neat, very effective airplane. Confirmed by Spotting Tom Mallory from 226 Jaguar Operational Conversion Unit. They're based up at Lossiemouth, up on the Moray Firth. We've got 10 of these, 5 of these GR1A single-seaters and 5 of the 2-seaters, the T2s. There were some 8 squadrons initially. In Germany, taken over by tornadoes. Twin-engine supersonic strike aircraft, the original design work on the airframe, and then British aircraft. It's the first of the new generation of very fast, very low-level strike aircraft. Very small, difficult to hit, it's extremely maneuverable. Panning with the camera, the telephoto lens on those last runs, now is your chance. Instructor course at Lossy. And then went to 54 Squadron, also on Jaguars. The natural sequel went to the United States to fly the American equivalent of the Jaguar, the F-16, which is, although it's a single-engine aircraft, it's not a twin, but was designed for the same highly maneuverable, very light, small, comparatively very light, small aircraft as a means of surviving in a hostile sky. formation would mean one with a nuclear weapon. And 6, 41 and 54 squadrons still with one group strike command in Britain, all at Coltishore. And he's deploying, as you'll see, his braking canopy with a very short stop. Short field performance, essential with a tactical aircraft at that time. He's also carrying the slab of the ECM, the electronic countermeasures, tail warning radar gadgetry on the fin, used conveniently by Jaguar squadrons for displaying as a panel for displaying squadron markings. Now, solo item. Knife edge. It's going to come back for a series of rolls. A stable aeroplane to start with. On the other hand, if we're going to survive in a hostile environment as a dogfighting aeroplane, basically unstable aeroplane with very fast rates of response. And fly-by-wire basically is a method of building a highly unstable aeroplane which will operate right up to the edge of its performance with a computer whose response is much faster. If the pilot overcooks a maneuver, the computer will let him take it up as far as it can. On them. Comparatively slow and gentle pass now. He can be pulling that. Let the aeroplane. There he comes back again. Right up through the vertical. That's right, of the F-15, I think, the same thing, that's right. Yes, which is interesting. Confusing some unfortunate 101 avio jets of the Spanish Air Force Aerobatic team. As you can see, that false cockpit quite clearly now.
Tower can't contact the miner. They're not speaking to the tower. One speaking with... Start.
As you can see the massive all-flying tailplane. You also see what extremely good view the pilot had. They're all full-time instructors at the academy, and they perform the aerobatic team display work as a weekend and part-time operation. The aircraft they fly is first three. Aircraft, the Casa 101 aviojet is two-seating tandem jet trainer of the Spanish Air Force. Casa being one of the Palau is with us, is Aguila 7, Captain Mora, who is missing. And the team are running him down. We present Patrula Aguila of the Spanish Air Force Academy. Pulling up now in Vic formation, up over the top of a loop changing formation as they go round the loop into Aguila, the eagle formation. Yes. Now we scrubbed that, yes, in fact they're holding that change, they're not changing because they haven't got 7 aircraft for it. So I suspect we... Vulcan formation now, yes, they go around. I've been led into these by... Oh yes, in fact, it's, I'm happy to have the formation changes translated to me as we go along. In tornado formation now. Away from us, on the other side, that is called the tornado bend. And then the loop will be completed with the Asqua brake. Rolling from the top of that loop back onto almost onto the main axis, and there they go in the brake. Asqua brake. And with minimum separation, it says here in my notes. When it says that, it means neat, very efficient training aeroplane designed. Running up again for a second pass. Missed him the first time. Here they come again from left and right. Pulling a very tight G radius turn. Synchropair running in towards us now. And there's the crossover brake. Doing it. The main team out putting round to and inverted, fairly slow paced run with gear down. It's Major Villanueva, solo man today. Quick roll out and pulling round as the team approaches from very often you see a team doing a formation landing. The nerves broken usually by that stage. That's very nice. Very neat. Nice bit of video there, we have a video camera. Somebody out there's got one. Well, they wanted. In the meantime, in what is going to be certainly our noisiest display, I think, this afternoon, the British Tri-National Tornado. This is the GR1. Tornadoes come basically in two sorts at the moment. The GR1, which is the interdictor strike version, capable of operating from dispersed forward strips. You don't need more than about 900 meters to operate one of these beasts, not only of the airframe but of the engines undertaken by Great Britain Germany and Italy. The most striking feature, the most remarkable feature of the fact is, of course, that it is of variable geometry, popularly referred to as swing wing 3, the wing being moved out of its normal forward 25-degree sweep position, as it is now, which is the optimum endurance cruise configuration. Back to the mid-sweep position, 37 degrees, which is the medium cruise position. And most dramatic of all, the 67-degree sweep when the aircraft virtually becomes a very long, narrow delta. Which is the low-level supersonic high-speed dash configuration, giving you the good ride characteristics and stable platform of a delta. Very, very low level, for which purpose it has extremely sophisticated equipment, computer generated and controlled cockpit displays. Computer fed with a complete cassette of carries ground mapping radar, inertial navigation system, and terrain following radar. The aircraft will operate 60 meters off the ground, 200 feet off the ground at 800 knots, automatically following the terrain, avoiding obstacles, even obstacles as small as power pylons, I'm told. And that in bad weather, delivering an extremely accurate single-pass attack with its very heavy weapon there. Single-pass strike capability will carry any of the conventional cluster bombs or missiles. Now you'll see him in the full virtually a delta. Forward now to the mid position, 37 degrees, the medium cruise position. Germany, they're based in Vulcan. 17,000-pound thrust turbo union RB199 engines. The
is Lieutenant Jean-Marc Gird. He's also coming from Mirejev 1 in Reims Air Base, and this is the second year on the team. In diamond formation. This is the duck. A new formation change now. They are going back on diamond. Start a turn around the corner. will show you the Concorde now. A new formation change. They are going back in diamond formation. They will do a loop now. The space between each other, it's about 2 meters. During the maneuver, they're putting between 4 and 5 Gs. A new formation change, and they will go back. And we'll do a head-on crossover. The closing speed, it's about 300 meters per second. They will do now an inverted climb. During this maneuver, the pilot pull about -3 Gs. They are coming now for head-on crossover. Avoid me. The solist will join up behind us, and the man. The radar always calls that the twinkle hole. The number 2 will fly inverted. The leader going back on normal. This is the flip-flap. They reduce the speed now, extend the air brakes, the gear down, flaps. It's about 40 meters during the head-on crossover. Now they increase the speed, the impact, the gear, the flaps, the air brakes, and in the front of us. It join up, start a loop, another clover leaf. The speed move between 300 knots and 120 knots on top of the figure. In front of us, the leader is pulling -2 and instantaneously +7 Gs. They will join up behind.
formidable.
Weather road, and I will leave the micro to the official commentator now. Ladies and gentlemen, you can applaud the pilot now if you have been enjoyed by the show.
The OCU is already occupied with checking pilot out. They have a GR5 conversion unit, and the GR5 has already new uprated 871 series airdo with considerably more power, and it has a redesigned wing with a new leading edge, droop leading edge, and combat flaps, which increase its performance considerably. A very neat and business-like little aeroplane, just I think at the start of what one feels is going to be a very successful career. Tidy man just popping his parachute on the grass at the side of the rubbish. I've never seen anybody else bother to do that. Train them very well, doesn't it, British Airspace?
Colonel Luigi Lorenzetti, and on his right, on the ground, following the formation, is Lieutenant Colonel Massimo Montanari, the supervisor for aerobatic training. Now in on the left of Schneider, and it will be a reposition from the right for the entry loop. The formation leader now will reposition the aircraft right on the runway for a slight diverse loop. The diamond, spreading the white, green and red colors for the entry loop. At this point is a little less than 4,500 feet, and that will be the maximum altitude achieved by the aircraft during the entire high show. Out 45 degrees to your left, the formation will reposition in front of us. To present formation now, ready for the split, separation in two sections, splitting now, section of 4 aircraft to your right and 5 aircraft to your left. Both section will proceed then for the crossover. Each section will maintain aircraft to your right, executing a loop, and the section of 4 aircraft to your left, executing half cubanate. Out of these two different maneuvers, the two sections will join up, and you will see how quick the join up is, confirming the characteristics of the acrobatic flight of the Italian Air Force Aerobatic team. It's a flight that the technical may appreciate. You can see the formation is maintained in this shape thanks also to the continuous information furnished, provided to the pilot from the ground commander, whose purpose is not only for safety, but is also to correct the perspective of the aeroplane and each pilot position. External out, internal out, and roll. The section of 4 aircraft at a little higher altitude than the section of 4 and 5. Back to Wineglass now. And again, the altitude is a little less than 4,500 feet. That's the minimum height we need for our airshow. And the formation going out. And we'll reposition from the left after a change of formation. Going into Swan very shortly during a re-entry turn. And then at the roll to the right and Swan. Top in the loop. Changing formation, going to diamond again, changing colors. Ready for the split. And split now into section that will immediately proceed to cross over right in front of you. Roll out. And now the external are ready to roll out and hop for the loop in big triangle. And you may notice now the formation is coming back. Each pilot has assumed his position for a safety break. And now the order of the bomb burst given by the commander and all 9 aircraft in 9 different directions. Bomb burst now. Brakes on the belly of the aircraft. White smokes. All of you. Also, we would like to thank the organizer for this beautiful show and the English people for the great opportunity that has been given to us to show our Air Force. Thanks for the warm and unforgettable reception here in Scampton. Thank you very much.
Aerobatic team here. They were formed, the original National Aerobatic team formed in 1930, and I think the French team formed in 1931. Italian light aircraft, which like all Italian light airplanes was a potential fighter, and has been used for training in a number of, and also for ground attack, light ground attack work in a number of air forces. Team now on the row, on the right. This is the factory Swiss from Düsseldorf. Flying that. Gentlemen here there, I understand, Hunter. Flying in your line, sir. Cross formation, pulling up into a loop. On the bend in sight. And the wingmen sliding back as the formation changes to delta. They come over the top of the loop. Delta into a maneuver they call the waltz. Immaculately controlled barrel. Barrel row by no means as easy a maneuver to fly on your own, never mind the middle of a formation. Come nicely up to the datum point, which is us right in front. As they pull around, slowing down, round the far side of that horizontal 360. Another close pass as they go through. Completing their turns and they will exit to either side. Beginning to pull out to the rear, they will be coming together behind us and coming back in formation. Running in on the zero back for a mirror run, and here's a nice formation shot for you, and a very unusual one. Two hunters trailing in mirror into the mirror row. main team of 4 aircraft comes through in column, line the stern column, as the team calls it, pulling up into another barrel roll, another waltz. Remarkable variety of aerobatic formation manoeuvres this afternoon, which is very interesting on the different teams. Come nicely on the datum again, just in front of us. A run down. Spray line. One solo man coming slowly in. Shallow dive here. Climbing right to the right, still with the open flap. Right left. It's apparently a duck with a very long neck. Sort of leader's benefit duck. As they go through, we should be on the side. There he is, running straight through. Now, far side of the airfield when they'll rejoin up. 6 to 7, and out they go. That bomb burst number 6, trailing and running through solo to pull up behind the leader. In the closing maneuver, their own particular variation of the final bomb burst. Probably Paris Suisse of 1989. By the Swiss bilingual, that was headed Paris Suisse, that a couple of months just the other day.
I was actually standing back and enjoying that very much indeed.
It was a very nice program. We've seen some exceedingly good aerobatic flying today, I think, from teams.
Still, such a beautiful aeroplane, don't you think?
Oh, lovely, absolutely marvellous. As to flying something absolutely frightening. Talking with Jesse Ray has rejoined us. Good evening, Mr. Thilthorpe. We're being closed in on by arrows here.
Mélange of managers, I think somebody described it as.
Yes, I was contemplating having a small luncheon party for all the Aeros managers, because they're all still going.
There's a real touch of the good, the bad and the ugly earlier on, I tell you.
I've lost my dough. Experimental test pilot. Apart from anything else, of the unstable aircraft and fly-by-wire. British government to developed jointly by British Aerospace and by AIT. And very high alpha, the very high nose-up attitude at very low speeds, made possible by the computer-controlled program. Prominent are the forward control cannons in their maximum down position. Very stunning display. Instruments inside the cockpit are being replaced by large multifunction television displays, coloured TV displays, which again are the cockpit interiors of the future. Well, in fact, they are of the present already. Left the Air Force some 8 years ago as a squadron leader and joined the Vulcan division at British Aerospace. These are on flying the British Aerospace experimental aircraft program aircraft. A very considerable effect. Completed some 200 flights, GR3 Tornado, the F3, I think it's fun, the F3 Tornado, the latest Royal Air Force strike aircraft. It's striking in the sense that every aircraft becomes a strike aircraft. The F3 designed for airborne interception and for defence. First squadron of F3 Tornadoes, number 29 Squadron, formed at Coningsby at the end of 1987. Was the aircraft. Interesting squadron which has spent 42 years of its service overseas, which I think is a record. Formed in 1916. Also odd, it was one of almost the only Royal Air Force unit which operated multi-engine dive bombers. Multiple threats. Missile sky flasher on the missiles. The aircraft longer, heavier than the GR1 because it needs greater range and therefore more fuel. Carrying normally a spread of at least half a dozen missiles onto the belly. Carry 4 Skytrack radar guided missiles, 4 Sidewinders, which are mean-CD missiles, very extensively in the Falklands. We went into the business of wing sweep earlier on when we saw the F1, the GR1 rather demonstrated. Full forward sweep now, 27 degrees. Weapon. 29 Squadron. First squadron to form on this at Koningsberg. Squadron about to get the F3. They've converted from Phantoms. Long-standing Phantom Squadron up at Lucas. Which carries the nameplate of 65 Reserve Squadron in the
Very sufficient, with the wing swept back. We're now veering crowd right for a run and break into the circuit.
Yes. Very impressive. Sweeping forward again, first demonstration there of the operation of the wing sweep mechanism. I think I'm right. Andy, you're still there? Yes, he is. I can see him there, yes. Was it your number 5? Out to shorten that landing run dramatically. Are you back in the hearing mode again? You can hear us now.
Yes, I can hear you again now, John.
Yes, that's good. Is it number 5, whose brother, your number 5, who's flying?
I don't think Fred wants you to ask me that question. I'll have to ask it again. Play of the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team during this season. We couldn't have done it better if we tried. The team getting airborne now, from your left to your right, in the characteristic display takeoff. As they get airborne down to your right, watch us. Numbers 4 and 5 there, the second pair to get airborne, who've already joined with the leader to form the Vic-5 at the front. With 8 other countries, and will shortly be delivered to the Swiss Air Force and to the United States Navy. But without further ado, in their 25th anniversary season, would you welcome, please, the Red And arriving in Big 9 formation, the team pull up into their first looping manoeuvre. And as they do so, watch there as the outside members move in towards the centre to form the Diamond 9, that formation shape for which the team is perhaps best known. Flying the front aircraft throughout the display this evening is the team leader, Squadron Leader Tim Miller. Now 36 years old and in his second season leading the Red Arrows, Squadron Leader Miller previously flew Hunters before moving to the Harrier. He then served the number 3 Squadron in Germany, where he was the 1978 Harrier display pilot. Completion of a weapons instructor course, he was posted to number 1 Squadron at Royal Air Force Wittering, prior to joining the Red Arrows for the first time in 1981. Now, based on the premise that a diamond is a girl's best friend, Squadron Leader Miller leading the other 8 pilots round for the first really good look at this formation and the chance for a photograph in the setting sun as we present the Diamond 9. Immediate right is the number 2 Flight Lieutenant Al Hoy. Age 31, this has been Al's first season of display flying. The impressive Big Vixen roll. Formation are the numbers 4 and 5. Red 4 is 31-year-old Squadron Leader Guy Bancroft Wilson. And as they re-emerge from behind their own smoke from the top of this loop, you'll see that another change has taken place already to form the shape of Apollo. Now both the Eagle and Apollo formations are our tribute to that spacecraft and the 3 men on board, 2 of whom first placed their feet on the moon 20 years ago in July 1969. But let's watch now as they twist in the descent out of that loop and position for the Apollo bend. As they turn away now, numbers 4 and 5 move forward to reform the diamond before the formation changes once more. This time as our salute to that supersonic airliner that, like us, is celebrating a significant anniversary this year. And so, to mark its 20th birthday, we present the Concorde. We're going to give you a closer look at this formation and the chance for another good photograph, perhaps. Scott Miller now leading the pilots round for the Concorde bend. Pulling up in Concorde and departing to your right, the leading echelons now will move forward to rejoin the leader and to form the shape of a feathered arrow. Now flying on the outside left of this feathered arrow, or Fred as we affectionately know this formation, is the number 5 Flight Lieutenant Dominic Riley. A 31-year-old Phantom pilot, Dominic has served with numbers 92 and 43 squadrons, during which time he was detached to the Falkland Islands. In 1985 he was posted to Royal Air Force Chivener, where he became a qualified weapons instructor on this aircraft. And this is Dominic's second year with the team. Now for the Delta roll. Drop back slightly to help reform the diamond, and these are the numbers 8 and 9. Whilst the main section climb in leader's benefit. The synchro pair now smoking red as they describe the outline of a heart, a tribute to all of our fans and followers over 25 years. Whilst the main section dives right through the middle before fanning out for you in the Cascade. As they run in towards each other at a closing speed of almost 800 miles an hour. And pulling up into the vertical on your right is the leader of that synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant John Rands. 29-year-old John, who flies number 6 in the main formation, is in his third and final year with the team, having previously flown the Lightning Air Defence fighter, both with the number 5 squadron and as a weapons and tactics instructor with the Lightning training flight at Royal Air Force Bimbrook. But let's watch now as they position to come towards each other for the opposition barrel roll. Synchro clear. Look to your left now and see the main section returning in big 6 rolling upside down to be joined by number 7. The number 7 slot this year has been filled by 30-year-old Flight Lieutenant Steve Johnson. Watch shortly as they pull up underneath the main section and through their smoke in this famous manoeuvre that we call the Goose. the colours of the Royal Air Force, its premier aerobatic team, and its special tribute to all our guests who came to fly with us today. Blue, watch as they perform the shackle split. Number 6 on your right and 7 on your left, now setting up for the... Pulling for the first of the rolls. And crossing for the second. Now look to your left again as the main section returns, this time step. Now see. But ahead of us now are the main section. Another really good photographic opportunity coming up for you. As the Reds reach the bottom of this loop, have your fingers on the shutters and be ready for them as they perform the spectacular and photogenic manoeuvre for you, the Vixen Break. Every little bit helps. That's 4 together already, 5, 6. 6 and 7 in fact to the men on the wingtips and number 5 at the back. And as they reach the top of that loop, the Reds are all aboard in Diamond 9 once more. Now this formation we actually call amateur diamond, because if you've been listening to the numbering that I've been describing for you this afternoon, you'll know now that the Reds have actually formed up into positions that are not their normal slots in the Diamond 9. And so if you've got just one shot left on your film, hang on to it for just a few seconds. As we say, hail, but farewell at the end of the 1989 season. They pull up into the sunset for you. Wait for them to reach the top of this loop. And I think most of you have guessed it. Coming up, our famous finale. And we close this afternoon. From the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Parasol Break. And with the Parasol Break, we have it people who've been with us, whose services we didn't need. The ambulance, the police, the fire and the rescue services, who gave up their afternoon to be with us this afternoon. Thank you all very much. With your presence here today, we thank you.
Paddy, thank you very much indeed. I'm sure on behalf of everybody here today, whether they're watching or helping or working, whatever they're doing,